Okay, so this is the second part of this lab. We just did the standardization of the sodium hydroxide. We're going to be using that to figure out the molecular weight of acid and also its pKa, which tells me, well, if you know the pKa, you can figure out the Ka, which tells you how well the acid dissociates. So in acid-base, we learned that a low pKa meant a stronger acid, which means it dissociates better. And so this technique, what we're using, it's a pretty powerful technique. It's used in labs all over the world to do all kinds of different experiments. They're going to be doing something similar. So it's a titration, like we did with vinegar. We're going to be titrating acid, and from that data, we'll find out its molecular weight and its Ka, or pKa. So we're going to go through the experiment first, and then what we'll do is we'll show how to do the calculation. So what I have here is the things we'll be using. We'll be using a scale to measure the amount of acid. From that, we're going to be able to figure out its molar mass. I have a stir bar and a burette. Then the burette has sodium hydroxide, which will titrate our acid. And then we have the computer behind it, which is going to be measuring the change in pH as we add the acid. And we want to not just have the acid become neutralized, but we want to actually look at the shape of the curve, and from that information we can figure out its pKa. Okay, all right, and so we'll be careful about that. So first thing that the lab wants us to do is measure out about 0.15 of my acid. Okay, it's right here, and so I'm got my scale, and let me just let you see what's going on here. Okay, so it's 0, and I'm going to 0 it. Now it doesn't matter how much I get exactly, but I need to record how much I get exactly. This is 0.1. .11. Okay, 0.14. So the mass of our acid is 0.14 grams. Right. So we're done with our scale. So I'm turn it off. Gonna move it out of the way. Make sure you record that 0.14. And then what I need is I need about 100 mils of water. So I'm just putting some water in a container so I could transfer it. So I'm just going to fill it up to about 100. Again, we don't have to be exact here, especially with the volume, because it'll cancel out in the calculations. Right. So I'm stirring up the mixing in the acid into the water. Right now it's still crystals. I want to get all the crystals out of the way. All right, while that's going on, let me show you our equipment to measure pH. So okay, so we have this here, and this is the electrode to measure pH. What I'm going to do is right now it's in a special solution, and what I'm going to do is I'm take it out and put it in the beaker so that it measures starts measuring the pH. So I don't want to spill this guy right here. I'm going to set it aside. And I want to rinse it off. And I want to set it inside the beaker so it's not hitting the stir bar, and that's good right there. Right. So next thing I want to do is I want to make sure I get my starting point of my sodium hydroxide. So the starting point, okay, is 2 point. Okay, it's kind of hard to read when you're shortish. 2.5, no, 2.65. 2.65. Remember that. We're going to be writing that down in a second. Okay, you can write it down right now, but we're going to use it in the program in a minute. So, so what we have here is the company that comes up with all these stuff, these probes and things, is called Vernier, V-E-R-N-I-E-R. And there's this program called Logger Pro, which manipulates all this data. Now the spectrophotometry experiment that we did, we used a new version of that where it's actually wireless and you can get on your phone. This is an older version. Gosh, I don't know how long it is old. It's maybe 20 years old, but it still gets the information we want. Okay, so what we're going to do is start adding the sodium hydroxide to the acid in increments where it'll raise the pH by 0.1. And then we're going to record what that value is, okay? And then we're going to, when it goes up 0.1, we're going to keep on doing that. Now there will be a point where we may be adding less or more as we do that. So the first thing we want to do is get the initial numbers. Okay, so the thing we do is I hit collect, and that's going to start doing my work. Okay, so now so what I want to do, I'm going to hit this. It says keep, and then so I'm going to hit keep, and I want to write down the volume that I just told you, 2.65. Now this is actually 0, but we didn't raise it up to 0. So what we're going to do is every other volume from here, we're going to subtract 2.65 from it. Okay, and if you notice on the table, it's recorded both those values. Okay, so so let me pull it out so you can see the whole process here, and I'll tell you. So what I'm doing is I'm just start adding my acid slowly, so it'll go now up to 0.3. Okay. Okay, so this says 4 point, now just add a tiny bit more. All right. Right now I need to hit keep and write this volume down. Okay, 3.00. Okay. Add it now. So what I'm gonna do is add it. So this number here goes up to about 4.42. Okay, now it's at 4 point, I don't have to get exactly 4.42, but it looks good. So what I'm gonna do is it's stopped fluctuating. So hit keep again. And this one is gonna be 3.49. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna add again. So it goes up to about 4.5. And so it's 4.53. Let's say 3.75. Okay, let's see, get up to about 4.6. Okay, keep 4.10. Now it looks linear. Okay, so this volume is 4.5. Okay, it looks like a linear line so far. You can see that. Okay, so okay, I add again. So it's like 4.82. Whoops. This one's going to be like so this volume is 5.0. Okay, and another set. Whoops. Kind of shot out there, but it'll be okay. So it's 4.0. Went a little bit more than I wanted to, but it's not going to affect it too much. 5.72. Okay. Okay, stop there. 6.20. Looks like 6.50. So pH is 5.18. Volume is 7.15. Okay. Let me go up to 4. I want to go up to 2.9. Two 7. Okay, volume is 7.75. Go up to 39 about. Okay, this reading is 8.45. Go up to 49. Okay, 9.0. Really should be 9.00, but okay. So one thing you may notice, it looks like it's going up linear for every half a mil. It goes up 0.1. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to 5.59. So this is 9.55. To go up 5.6, go to 69. All right, 10.15. Okay, go up to 579. $10.7. Go up 0.9. All right. This is 11. Exactly. Or as close as it can be. Okay. Like 11.5. Uh, 11.85. Went up to about 2. Ooh. Okay, 6.22 to 1. Volume now is 12.1. Okay, you may notice it may not be going up linear anymore. So I'm gonna go up to 6.3-ish. $12.25. Go up to 3.9. Or about. 12.5. Okay, you gotta go up to about 6 point, whoops. Okay, I had it down, so it's 12.7. Didn't add very much. You can see how much it's gone up. And that'll help us actually, that's going to be helping us find the Ka and also the molecular mass. So now it's at 13. Okay, so what we're going to see now is it's going to start really shooting up. Okay, so I'll try to get up to woo. So you can see I just added a tiny bit and it shot way up. So I'm at 13.35 and it's already gone up to 8, so it's not linear at all anymore. So just let it set. It's gonna take a second. And see it's shooting way up there, okay? And that's without even adding any more acid. It's right now it's just all the acid and base are basically balancing each other out. At this point you're actually probably have more base than you do acid. So it'll eventually stop going up. It's almost there. This volume is going to be 13.3. Well, we finally write it in. See, 13.3. Okay, now I'm going to add a little more. Again, it jumped up way up, so This volume is going to be 14.25. Okay. This volume is going to be 14.8. Okay. Now you see that the pH is slowly changing. Not changing much anymore. So it's like 15.20. This is 16.0. Okay, what we're going to do is add so it just flattens out, and we're almost there. Okay, so now it's at 16.55. Okay.